Mr. Chuck, everybody's thinking too small when it comes to HEX T-shares. Just because it's penny printing machine right now doesn't mean we'll be printing dollars in the future. Who wants to take that and riff on that for a moment? You guys still like HEX, right? We still here?
So my opinion is HEX is still a CD. It's still a collateralized time deposit. It still works doing what it's doing. And it took such a bad hit because, oh my God, Pulse is never going to launch. Well, we've got Pulse now, and everybody who was making a play to get their copy did that and is out. And I mean, even on Ethereum, I guess it's a stable coin now at the very least. Like, it has to have bottomed out. They just can't go any lower. So
yeah, those cheap T-shirts. Neil for T-shirts keeps coming to mind right now. Those cheap T-shirts, I feel like it is almost a tragedy that not a lot of people are talking about them. I know myself, I've said before, I've made more stakes and more ladders and stuff than I ever have in the history of being around this ecosystem, more recently than most. But I just don't, is it just not the sexy thing and people just don't want to talk about it right now? Is this just everything else going on? PulseChain is just too big for people to like HEX anymore? What do you guys think?
I don't think it's the chain's too big. I just think that people's focus on the new shiny object at the moment just because it's the new shiny object. So PulseChain is the thing, Pulse and PulseX and anything. You got Famous and PHUX and Fiat. And you got other things coming up, Liquid Loans and Power City about to launch. So people's focus has kind of shifted. There's no doubt about it. But HEX is still doing what it's going to do. It's never going to fail. The codes are mutable. So if you want to lock up value for a long time and earn yield while you do it, that's the way to go.
I think it's by design, actually. I think that the people that are staked and stay the course, got their duplicates, and are staked on both sides and don't early end stake will effectively be the winners, not just in this cycle, but the cycles to come.
It's a beautiful thing. The whole HEX ecosystem and everything being built on top of it. It's just, it amazes me. Like I go back and look at it. I definitely think around before PulseChain launched, it was kind of, I even found myself not talking about it enough. I was like, wow, I need to talk about HEX more. Like HEX is still here, is still doing its job. And HEX is unaffected from so many different things. I think PulseChain, for me, I just got distracted with it for good reason. I mean, it's distraction worthy. But now it's like it's having I think HEX revival. We're doing HEX revival now. Never know.
Well, I can add to that quickly. I just want to point out HEX is the way. He likes to point out the pulse to HEX ratio, where, I mean, we're obviously going to see the Hart's law price bonding. We're going to see movement in the chart that's very similar. But, I mean, I thought I was pretty happy with the ratio when I was jumping from one pulse token to 100 HEX, I think it was, or vice versa. But it's the 1/100. And now HEX has become more expensive as that ratio has gone to 190. I've seen it as high as like 210. So, I mean, there's been a little greater demand for HEX since PulseChain's launch that has pushed that ratio up. So, I mean, I think we're all just in the holding pattern waiting for the great pump cycle to begin.
Yes, well said.
One more thing about staking just came to mind. Keep in mind that you walk into your bank in fiat and your jaw hits the ground if you can get anything above 5.5% APR, right? Or APY if you lock up your money in a traditional CD. So compare that to what we're getting in terms of HEX yield per year, and it'll hit you when the bull market comes. You'll be like, oh my God, I've been getting 16, 17% APY. It's ridiculous.
I'm surprised when they give me my money at all. I go in the bank and they're like, I'll ask all these questions. Oh, we don't have it on tap. Oh, you need to call beforehand. I'm like, whose money is this again? Like it really hits you. Like when you go in the bank, they don't want to give you money when you clearly have it. Like it really hits you what's going on. It's crazy.